This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Tuesday, July 19th. We got a kick-ass show today. We got Kai Kamaka on the program. We got our winners and losers of the show. We got a whole lot of shit going on today. But obviously, first and foremost, listen on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Listen on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, any other podcasting platform. Hit that follow. Maybe leave a review. But before we get into Kai Kamaka, once again, want to remind everyone, you think you can do this business? Want to be my co-host? We're in the process of searching for our co-host. So if you want to apply, look at my Twitter. I just posted it. It's going to be pinned at the top of the profile. It is a paid contracted role, so let us know. Without further ado, let's dive on into Kai Kamaka. We are joined by MMA royalty, part of MMA royalty. We are joined by the Flying Hawaiian, Kai Kamaka. Kai, real quick, just because I know you usually train out in Vegas. Are you back to training Hawaii, or are you just back in Hawaii because the fight, as we've kind of discussed, has been pushed back?
I'm back in Hawaii now. I kind of brought my family back to Hawaii, so kind of preparing for the future, from near future. As far as my family, I wanted to bring them home. Some changes happening in my family, so I kind of wanted to bring them home and just being a little bit more comfortable.
So away from Stream Victoria, going back to like training with like Ray Cooper, like the family and all that kind of stuff, going back to the royal family.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I have the time, and you know, when things align, I'm still gonna be going out there. Like, I still have a good relationship with everybody out there. It's just we're expecting our fourth kid, and then just some things happening, or just being close to family. Will kind of help a lot in different ways. So
number 4, how far away are we from number 4?
Like maybe 2 months.
Oh wow! Well, congrats on the sex. Congrats on the sex again. Now you got number 4. I was gonna joke out like maybe like the reason the Bellator fight got pushed back. I was hoping you were gonna say something else. Didn't, but I was gonna say maybe it's because the judges they found were gonna be fair and competent and not actually be idiots. But when you get into these fights and you get in these situations, is there a part of you now like after another split decision, are you like it's either I get a finish or I'm just gonna get fucked over? Like it's obviously you got to try to stay positive, but like is that kind of like your mindset at this point?
I mean, not gonna lie, yeah, some of it is that kind of mindset. I mean, just the way it's been, right? Like, I mean, not gonna say I'm unlucky, but that's just the way it's been. So it's like, sometimes you do think like that, like, but at the same time, that's their job is I don't even think that they should fight. They should just train. Like, they should train to know how it is to be in uncomfortable situations, to know like how to judge certain situations, like that. And I don't know what it is, but something could change.
I'm assuming you're then an advocate for like open scoring and things like that, so at least you have an idea of where you're at.
I mean, I don't know about open scoring, but something gotta change. That might be the issue. I mean, that might be the solution, but there could be different things. I mean, I came up with different ideas, and I don't know which one would be right. But I think some of it could like lead to some accountability. I would say one idea might be 5 judges. And then one idea might be these judges brief us before the show, like the referees do, like a judges meeting, instead of a pre-fight rules meeting, or in that you have a judges meeting too, so we know what the hell we're going into. And then that's another idea. And then them going into pre and post fight press conferences, their own like press conferences, because they get to share to the media and everybody what they're looking for, and then after they get to say what they were looking for in those fights and why. So those are maybe 3 ideas that could change. I don't know if any of them are the solution. You're gonna always run into problems, but I mean, I'm just thinking on my behalf. Like, I've been in some close calls I mean, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, I've been in some competitive fights, but I don't know how I still don't feel like I lost. So it's like, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm biased because that's me, but I'm thinking like when I'm just looking at the fight and what I see, that's my understanding of how fighting should be. So it's like, frick, I gotta get a good, better understanding of this because the TJ Brown fight, he, I keep, I mean, I don't keep talking about this, but I hate to be the guy that just keeps bringing this up. But like, we were during the fight, everything that he did, I did better. So I feel like I won. You know what I mean? In the 15 minutes in a fight, he did some stuff, but everything that he did, I did better. Whether it was ground, whether it was standing up, I did better. I mean, maybe the only thing that he did better was throwing out punches that wasn't impacting or damaging me, and that's not fighting. And then I guess the same with the the Danny Chavez fight. You look at the fight as a whole. You know what I mean? Like, there's one guy that was trying to win, and then there was one guy that was just there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the eye poke, I'll give you that one, and then the what is that called? The knee. Yeah, I can't pass up on that. Like, I hurt you with that knee.
I will say
And
the
then,
one thing though with that stuff is I feel like they're inconsistent though with like the point deductions. That's another thing. Like it is on the judges, but I feel like also the refs sometimes are super inconsistent with when
right.
they actually do point deductions. So that's another thing. I feel like that's kind of an issue as well.
Yeah, and then like rules are rules, right? Like, whether you break them or not, whether you mean to or not. I mean, I didn't recognize it during a fight, but like what fight? The TJ Brown fight. When I got after the fight, I was like, man, people were telling me, oh, he grabbed the fence like how many times? He grabbed the fence like how many times? Whether it was impacting him getting up, or he was just grabbing it. You cannot do that. You know what I mean? Like, whether you're offsides and you make a sack, or you're offsides and you don't make a sack, you're still offsides. You know what I mean? Like, that's um that's rule. Those are rules. Um, and the same in like in the what was that, the last fight against Justin Gonzalez. I mean, there was one guy that was trying to take somebody down. There was one guy who defended all the takedowns, and I felt like I had the more impacting shots. I was one with forward pressure. So I mean, it's not that I'm a sore loser. I need to understand fighting MMA. I got to change my mindset on how to fight. I guess, you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I mean, I wish I won those fights, but even more so tactically, I got to understand like what am I going into.
I think the most frustrating thing is like is you're not alone on this. There's a lot of guys who like every fight like I don't know what they're looking for. It's just I got to go out there and just like try like I don't know because as we kind of said is like I think a lot of these judges are different. Some go on damage, some go on wrestling, some go on striking. It's just like they're all different and it's kind of bullshit because there is a rule set and they don't really follow the rule set. It's kind of do whatever they think is actually with the fight when really they should just like get a
But I
set
mean,
thing and follow it.
then I see like I've lost fights on all three things that you said. One, um the TJ Brown fight, I dropped him.
Yeah.
I was on top of him for I think like 7 minutes or 5 minutes, and he was barely on top. I had more takedowns. I didn't even take him down, like grab his legs. But like, if I drop you and then I go on top of you, that's a takedown. That's a form of a takedown. And he never, yeah. So it's like, but then so it's like, okay, damage, okay, wrestling, okay, grappling. I won all time wise and actual. So I was like, what I gotta do? Just pepper you up, and then I don't know.
It's
And
it's
then
it's
so like,
yeah.
yeah, so
It's
I'm not
just
even. It's more so the understanding of how I'm, or how to fight. That's what I gotta change, obviously, because the judge is not gonna change.
no, you gotta go out there for the finish. When you were when at the last fight against Justin Gonzalez, is there a part of you like when they started reading the split decision, you're like, all right, I'm in Hawaii. There's no way they're gonna fuck me over this time.
No, I didn't. I didn't even think of that because I mean, time goes by so fast. but I did think that Saul Diamato was gonna give me one back. And when I heard his name, and so I was, that's the only thing I thought. That's the only thing I thought during that when they were reading the judges scorecards. It was that I was gonna get down back.
It's pretty bad when we know who a judge is. Like, we shouldn't know
Yeah.
who the judges are based on their scorecards. I think he's the one. Like, if you go on Twitter at any given moment during fight night, there's people just shitting on that guy at all times. Like,
So
I've never met Sal, never seen anything about him, but I know like the community hates this guy.
or there's like a handful, right? You just like, or you hear a bad scorecard, you just run down the list, and it's usually one of those.
It's one of those guys who are just completely out of pocket.
Four, yeah.
Completely out of pocket. Yeah, I remember, what was it? I think it was like, I'll use Calvin Cade or Josh Emmett as an example. I remember I heard he was a judge. I'm like, oh, he must have been the guy that gave Emmett round 4. No, it was someone else. It blew my mind. I'm like, he actually gave the right scorecard. Blew my mind. When they get the right cards, it also is almost as surprising as when they just completely fuck over you guys. And I think the worst part about it, and as I know, I've heard you say this in the past, like you wish like the paying scale and everything was different because like you guys get fucked over in these split decisions. Like you guys don't get your win money. Is this not one of those things where it's just like, it's just almost it's like, obviously you want to win, like the streets, the cred, all that kind of stuff. They think you won, but at the end of the day, the bank account doesn't say you won. Is that more frustrating than like the actual? Would you say like the record itself then?
They're all frustrating because they all hurt. Like, right, you lose, you're not gonna get paid. Your pay scale doesn't go up by whatever increment. You know what I mean? So that hurts, and then it's a loss in general, and then you don't move up on the pay scale that you're contracted, and then what also hurts is then when you see like when promoters, some big, I mean the Dana White, he'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna give that guy his win bonus, because it was a close fit decision and he felt he won. But then there's a lot of cases where there's split decisions that the other guy won, but like he gets to choose, right? Like who he'll get his win bonus, or like there's a weird situation and he pays the other guy that lost because it was a good fight, and that's what hurts more. Is like, wow, like I mean, like wow, I mean I fought hard, and then but maybe I don't have as much cred, so it doesn't matter as much to him. But in reality, on my pay, which I'm probably not at some of those guys' levels, it means more to me, or it means just as much to me as getting that win bonus, because I do live off of this money. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though it's not X amount of dollars, like, and half, it's my half and half. I mean, my two halves mean just as much as to me that marquee guy. You know what I mean? It's like, it might even mean more. You know what I mean? Because I gotta stretch this. So that's the kind. It does all of it hurts on losses and the pay scale, and in those type of losses all the way around, just as much as any other guy.
Yeah. Like, it hurts the little guys a little bit more than the big guys because they have like the big sponsorships, they have extra money coming in. Then for the littler guys who are still coming up, like you guys don't have those sponsorships just yet, and
right.
I mean, it fucks you guys more because you guys are the really the ones who need it.
Yeah, like, well, I do have sponsorships and I do have some of those things, but maybe maybe my sponsorships help me more. You know what I mean? Like in some cases, or that those, yeah. And so when your pay gets or not when you get pay gets taken away, I mean, some people might say it gets taken away, or the judge's scorecard doesn't go your way, and then you get half. It's like, that's what makes it and you don't, and then, this guy gets paid, or yeah, I'll give him his win bonus, he's gonna get his win bonus. It's like, that means more to me than, or just as much, I'm not gonna say mean more, but just as much. It can hurt more though, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna stretch this even more so.
Yeah, and I think just another weird thing too is like, going back in time. Like, obviously, like guys who get step in last second, like late notice, usually get rewarded for it. They get contract extensions, they get a little more longer leash. Do you think it got fucked over a little bit because you only had one fight that was really a full camp? The other three were like either a week's notice. Two were like a week's notice, and the other one was like 2 weeks notice.
The longest one was 2. I mean, yeah, besides the TJ Brown fight.
Because that was a full camp.
Yeah,
You actually had a full camp, and then you
yeah.
kind of bit the bullet, and then kind of got fucked for it. Because I feel like a lot of people probably said you take these short notice fights, like they're gonna treat you well.
You'd think, right? I mean, my Tony Kelly one was 4 days notice. That's an opportunity you got to take, right? You got to step up, and you just got to take it.
Yeah.
And then the Jonathan Pierce fight, yeah, that was 7 days notice. That was 7 days notice, and then the Danny Chavez fight, I kind of felt, I didn't feel cornered. I mean, yeah, I felt cornered. Like, frick, I gotta take the fight. I just lost 2 in a row. I don't know what's next. I mean, I gotta wait around. I don't know what's next. So I mean, you gotta take the fight, right? And then just they just so weird. I don't know.
It was a weird situation. You had it was literally, I would say it's unlucky. You just some terrible luck, but you can go. Luckily, in the fight game, at least go out there and fight your way back and things like that.
And then even the John De Jesus fight was like 3 weeks notice. I replaced somebody, and yeah, so it was just weird. Like, I signed a Bellator, and then I was just waiting around, and then I got that short notice call. I was actually in Florida for my cousin's championship fight, and then I was on the plane.
Going back to Vegas to get ready for it.
Yeah, I wasn't even going back to Vegas yet. I was going to Florida when I got the call.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Yeah, so I had like 5 days there where, I mean, I'm working out, not training. I'm working out. Thankfully, Eric was there, so we kind of worked out like a few times that week. But yeah, I wasn't even in Vegas.
That's nice. At least it worked. I mean, and it has worked out. Did you, obviously Bellator stepped in when you were unfortunately released, but like, was there a party that wanted to try out PFL, or is it one of those situations where you knew you can just step right into Bellator and wouldn't have to wait to join the PFL?
So, I don't know if I mean, a lot of people know, around me know, but like, I don't know if like the public knows, but like, I was at a PFL fight. I was on the same thing happened. I was going to PFL, and then I seen somebody post, some big page posted, Kai Kamaka and UFC have parted ways. Like, it was some big deal, like freaking, and I was going to PFL. So I think it was for the Roy McDonald fight. And then so I had like dinner with like the PFL guys, and then I would like FaceTime Scott Booker the same weekend, or like like within the same day, and like the next day. I mean, so like 2 days we're like going, kind of was like going back and forth with like with my manager, going back and forth with Scott Booker with him because he was there, and that kind of like they just seemed more like I couldn't wait around. Obviously, like I taking short notice fights, but that wasn't even like I want to fight. Like, I train full time, I fight full time, so it's like I can't wait till next April to go into a season. Like, I need to fight right now. And then so that stuff, and then they just seemed more like they wanted me to come over right away.
So it sounds like it was like it's just pretty much you, because I'm assuming like, especially after a loss too, you're probably like, I just want to go in there and just correct this like right away. And there's probably a party that probably took over that decision. Is like, fuck the PFL, fuck all that. I just want to go in there and have the first opportunity I have the fight. I'm going to take it so I can get this bad taste out of my mouth. Because I had been, especially after, like, again, it's unfortunate leaving the UFC. There's probably, even though after a loss you have a little that sour taste, but like after leaving the UFC, there's probably even a bigger sour taste in your mouth. Like, I really want to like get this out.
Yeah,
really
I mean, and your reasons, and I mean, your purposes in life change, right? You get kids, now you're like the sole provider of your family. So it's like, I mean, it's not that I wanted to like get anybody back, but it's like, wow, I gotta keep this train moving. I'm not gonna just wait around, like in that sense, right? I can't afford to just wait around. Like, I only made my short purse off of a draw on my last fight, because I got a point deduction. So it's like, okay, that was like that didn't help, and then so it's like, now I'm waiting around, and I wait around till like September, October, and then I fight in December. I signed in September, and then I fought in December.
Yeah, they give you that little 3 weeks notice. Just real quick,
Yeah.
speaking of the cousin Ray, I know he does his own little nutrition system. Kind of sees whatever he wants. Are you on the fellow Broader Ray nutrition system plan, or do you actually have a nutritionist? I know
Like
he does
I
his
have
thing.
one of my I have one of like my high school friends. He became like a registered dietitian, and like so he kind of helps me out, but he doesn't. It's not really like strict. He kind of just tells me on uh like some guidelines on where I should be eating, what I need to be adding in as far as like how much more protein, how much carbs, but not like um
Not like
not super strict.
meals, like every day. This is your meal. You're gonna eat this no matter what. It's just like
Yeah, no, I mean he'll tell
guidelines.
me. Yeah, it's like he'll erase the meal as far as like what it is. It just it's more guideline. Like, okay, we need this much protein, this
Yeah.
much. Yeah. But I mean I can do that. I can do what he does, but my life would be a lot more stressful.
That last week's a little rough. That last week before
Yeah,
the fight's a little
the
rough.
last 2 weeks because I'm thinking about how the last week.
Yeah, that's true. That week before, you're like, God damn, this last week's gonna be miserable. Just
Yeah.
no carbs, just miserable. Yeah.
He lived life like to the fullest,
No,
like
he
on edge
does.
all the way.
He does. He does. Did he? What happened to his hand? Did he break it in that first fight, or did he go into it with a broken
Um,
hand?
he it there's something. I mean, something wrong. I don't want to get like I don't even want to speak on it, but like
Yeah.
he, enough to where he can knock the next guy out.
Well, I was gonna say, well, it healed enough because he did it. He got right back to work. It was as if that's why it was so weird
He
that
barely
first fight.
I mean, he didn't train for the second fight. Like he couldn't. So all he could do was cardio, run. He'd
Oh
only
my
run,
lord.
run, and like he would hit miss, but it has to be very careful. And so basically, he didn't train for the first. I mean, he waited too long to get in shape for the first fight. Obviously, missed weight, looked like shit. And in the second fight, he couldn't like he was in better shape because he all he did was cardio.
And it worked out. I
I
mean,
mean,
again,
I guess at that level, like you know how to fight, right? It's just being in shape, and you're not gonna forget how to fight. It's just he couldn't grapple, couldn't spar because of the injury.
I was gonna
So
say like the Holloway thing. Like I remember at the very beginning of COVID, like he didn't even spar and came out and looked incredible. It was just one of those things
some
where sometimes you don't really, you guys know how to fight at this point, and it's just kind of like maybe it's a little bit like instincts, maybe trying out some new stuff in
it,
sparring.
I
But
mean, it's actually sometimes it can be a blessing because I've taken a bunch of short notice fights, and sometimes you feel better. It's you feel on edge. You didn't just get beat up for like 6 weeks, and then you're happy to make it to fight week. It's like you just feel you're not banged up. You're not used to getting hit, so you're gonna move. Like you're gonna react a little bit better. Um, you didn't build like scar tissue like throughout the whole camp, like just to getting hit to where you're accepting hits. You're a little bit more on edge when you fight.
exactly. So I want to go back in time because you wrestled in college here in the Midwest. I'm a Midwest guy. I'm an Indianapolis guy, but you went to Nebraska. What was the biggest culture shock going from Hawaii to Nebraska?
um, it was more so when nothing was going on for me. Like when there was no wrestling, and there was no wrestling, and then like summertime, that was like the biggest culture shock. And then I mean, obviously winter, but I feel like that's more mental than anything. And then just the summer times and the food, because I didn't go home that much, especially because I wanted to get done with Nebraska. So like, I was like taking summer school and trying to get the hell out of there. That and like the food, like when nothing was happening, or like like just comfort food in general. Like I could like, and when wrestling wasn't around, when season was over, that was the biggest culture shock when it was just me, my wife, and finding comfort food like sushi, just stuff that you kind of normally eat, or like it's like that your go-to, or yeah, that was. And but like as far as weather, it wasn't too bad. I'm actually made some of like the best relationships while I was there. I mean, because guys like Rafion Stotts,
Mm-hmm.
Jake Ellenberger, guys like Derek Minner. Those are kind of guys that I was working with when I was out there.
I was gonna say Nebraska. How was the Nebraska sushi?
Uh, shoot, it mustn't have been that good because I don't even remember it.
I was gonna say, the thing is, I was kind of expecting like it wasn't that great because like in Hawaii, you guys get the freshest stuff, you get the best stuff.
Yeah.
And so I know I feel you said in the past sushi is like one of your favorite foods. Is fried sushi real sushi?
Not no. I would say just raw fish is like like the. I mean, I still eat some
Oh, it's
fried
good. It's
rolls.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, no, you gotta grade on like the when you just eat the raw fish. So
And so I'm just kind of curious because like as so you get wrestled in college and all that kind of stuff, and I know a lot of like you guys wrestled. Like when you were growing up, I know at some point you kind of realized like you didn't grow, so you didn't football. Did you ever really want to be a football player, or was it just like you knew you were always going to be a fighter?
oh yeah,
Football was just a fun thing.
When I was in Pop Warner, I was gonna be in the NFL.
You're like, I'm fuck the tradition, fuck the family tradition. I'm gonna be a running back. I'm gonna be in the NFL.
We all thought we were gonna be in the NFL, and then we stopped growing.
I could relate to that one.
Because I mean, we all played. No, so we all played football. And we all wrestled. So, and yeah, we were like that was our two sports. So, I mean, but as far as like fighting was always around because like our dads, our uncles, they were all in like the fight game from like early 90s already. So like once we were born, that was kind of like that's all we knew. I mean, we knew that like the biggest fighters around, we were seeing them all the time when they were fighting Hawaii or when like our my uncles would fight them. That so fighting was probably more natural than anything.
Did they really encourage you guys to really focus on wrestling? So I feel like at that time when you guys were growing up, it's like we're about the same age. You're probably saying like wrestling's the best space to go into. Like you need to be able to wrestle if you really want to do this.
Yeah. They never even really pushed us into fighting. My uncle Ray was said, man, because he was like the one that was like that got into MMA first, right, and it kind of started the whole family. I mean, obviously, he's the one that started it out of the whole family. And he actually regrets it, like after the tough losses that we take, like he'll be like, I wish I never started. I got into this, just to see the like the lows of the sport. But yeah, they never really pushed us. It was just something that we kind of wanted to do. They wanted us to all go to school and wrestle.
And you were the one to do it, and you were the one to do it. It kind of works out that way.
Me and my three of us, me and my cousin Blake, and then my other cousin Balin, raised two younger brothers.
So no, they're now starting off their professional careers now, aren't they?
Blake and McCall.
So yeah. I remember when we talked to Ray, he was saying they're getting ready for that.
Yeah.
So one thing was, I know your first taste of the UFC, like really tasted the UFC of like being like, right by the octagon, was you're recording Joaquin Buckley. How, I know like your manager called you, but like, why were you the guy that called the corner?
So I was in Vegas already because, I was waiting for my shot, and me and Joaquin just fought in LFA together the week before. So we met each other. And then, his coach got COVID while they were there, and then he knew that he already knew I was in Vegas, right? So, that's how that worked out.
Okay, I didn't know if it was one of those sayings where like, all right, we don't know anyone else. This is called Kai, real quick. But so you guys actually like, you guys like fought.
Yeah,
not fought, but you guys fought the same card.
Yeah, and then his coach got COVID, and then like this. Everybody's acting paranoid at that time because of COVID. So, probably the guys he knew in Vegas, probably the Extreme Couture guys or whoever he knew in Vegas. And it's a new guy, right? They don't, they don't want to stay in a hotel a whole week. So, and then I just happened to be there, so he called me.
And it worked out. Not for Joaquin. It worked out for you, but it ended up he's doing fine now, and you'll be back.
Yeah, I think. yeah, I think it actually it all worked out because he got his foot in the door. I mean, look at him now; he's doing pretty good now. Um, and then it helped me out for the next week, because I just fought. And then not that I thought that I was getting that call, because you don't ever think it's like getting called to that NFL draft, like
Yeah.
I but he called me, say, hey, can you corner Joaquin? Remember you met him last week? So I was like, oh yeah, it's in the UFC. I was like, oh okay, but it kind of helped me ease me into the next week because I fought obviously the next week, and then it kind of like prepared me just to see everything. Not like I was trying to like look out like, oh, this is what's gonna happen. So you don't know. But I kind of got a feel for how the week was gonna go. Like when I got the call, like so everything though my fight week wasn't a complete shock to me.
Yeah, it was like you already you kind of saw it from the outside, so you're like, all right, this is what to expect and all that
Yeah, I
type of
just seen
stuff.
it the previous week, so it wasn't like it was the even they were kind of like a bunch of the UFC guys that the workers they were like kind of happy to see me again, but for a different reason. It was my fight.
Yeah, exactly. And then don't you you have a relationship with Sean Shelby too? I'm assuming he probably he can't like make every decision. He probably I'm assuming gave you some words of encouragement, things like they want to see from you to get you back in the UFC, things like that after
I
the last
haven't,
fight.
yeah, I
You haven't
haven't really
talked to
talked to
him?
him. I haven't
Oh
really talked to him,
no.
but like I've pretty much known Sean all my life, and it's been tough getting to the UFC, but I wouldn't want it any other way, right?
Just the journey. It's more fun,
Yeah,
more to the journey, more to the
yeah.
story. Yeah. And so one more question before I move on to my intern. In your last fight, I know you're not a big basketball guy. I know you played it a little bit growing up. When you were fighting Gonzalez, you did a little like crossover, dribble. Was that just an O'Malley thing? Was that all off the flow? What was the deal with the crossover?
That was actually from like Manel Cape. I seen him doing that. And it wasn't even showboating or what. I seen him do that in sparring, and like the guy was kind of like just watching him, and like didn't know how to react, and like kind of his movement kind of stopped, or his eyes kind of stopped, and like I just kind of took that from him because um he was dictating the movements, like he felt more comfortable. He was dictating the movement. Um, like the guy's eyes was watching him and kind of was like not he wasn't like panicking, but like yeah, you're he was he was like breaking things up, and that I kind of took that from him. It wasn't anything other like kind of like how Sean O'Malley is or whatnot. It was kind of like freezing his opponent, and that's what it was. And I started doing that because I was getting ready for Gonzalez, and then who is it? Oh, I was Jeremy Kennedy. That's my main training partner. I was doing that to him in sparring because he's more of a grappler and whatnot. So I was kind of like, there's times where I was winning, I was freezing him, and just kind of changing things up, freezing him, and that's all it was. And it became more obviously because I don't really remember doing that, like became more of a thing in the back of my mind. So and I heard people say that, man, you dribbled on him. I was like, frick, I did all. I mean, I showed all the tricks and I didn't even win.
No, not all the tricks. You'll get them next. I like it though. I like the crossover dribble stuff. It's also one of those things. You're the opponent. You're seeing him doing it. Like, oh fuck, he has something. Like I don't know
that's
what's coming. That's the other thing. Like you just don't
and
know.
that's what it more was, to make me feel comfortable in there, make me feel like frick. I mean, it ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Like it's fighting. And that's one of the. I mean, you touch on that. Like my Jeremy was there to corner me, and he kept telling me that, man, you showed you showed a lot of different. That's what was hard for us to take the losses. Like I showed more of an arsenal. I switched stance. I mean, this is not what wins you a fight, but I was showing combinations from two different stances, two different showing different. My takedown defense, he had 0 takedowns. Inability to get me to where the fight wanted. In that sense, I'm the one pressuring forward. That was the frustrating thing about the losses. Like, shoot, I mean, not that. It's like frick. What? I mean, I guess I gotta do more. That's it.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Those are the questions I got. We do this thing called a game. It's a game. It's gonna be quick, easy, just 5 questions. If you like the question, you answer it. We move on to the next one. But if you've ever wanted to tell anyone that you don't like a question and that you like just like it's a bad question, you tell them that, and then we wrap this thing up, and you don't have to answer any more questions. Sound easy enough?
Okay.
All right, Harrison, go on ahead.
Let's get right into this. So, first and foremost, like right off the bat, what's your go-to treat yourself food after you that you only allow yourself to eat after a win?
After a win?
Yeah.
How about after a fight? Because we've had some bad luck.
Specifically,
we've had some bad luck.
Shoot, I don't know. I mean, after a fight, it's hard to say. I mean, I eat pretty much. I don't know. I kind of don't eat after I lost for a bit. You know, it's just hard to eat. I'm not hungry. Yeah. I mean, because I even tried drinking after a fight, and I don't even get drunk because I'm just bathing in defeat. But shoot, I don't know. I guess after a win, I'll take my wife to wherever she wants to eat because, you know, I got to give it to her.
What's the drink of choice? What's the drink of choice?
Drink? I mean, I'll just whiskey. I just want to get drunk.
Yeah, that's fair. You do you have like a specific brand? Do you like a Howlerhead or like have you had Bruce Buffer's whiskey? What was it called again?
Puncher's Chance.
Puncher's Chance.
No, he doesn't discriminate. I'm assuming all whiskeys.
Yeah.
All whiskeys.
I just want to get drunk right now.
I get that. Moving on to question number 2. So being from Hawaii, you gotta love the beaches. What's the best beach you've been to outside of Hawaii?
I like Newport Beach, Huntington Beach, just because I always go there when Ruka brings me out there. So that's the beach I gotta go. I mean, yeah, Huntington Beach area.
Nice. Have you ever thought about getting out to the East Coast to try like New Jersey beaches or like North Carolina beaches?
I've been to the only beach I've been to on the East Coast was Atlantic City.
It's a great beach.
But like I only just walked and then that's it.
So you really only need to hit the boardwalk at the beaches in New Jersey. That's as a native, that's all I gotta say on that. But for number 3, what in your opinion, what would be more interesting to watch? An NFL player hitting like the wrestling mat against a Jordan Burroughs caliber wrestler, or an MMA fighter hitting the ice to go 1v1 with a hockey game?
What would be more
interesting to watch, in your opinion?
I guess I would say the wrestling.
The wrestling?
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan Burroughs is just ridiculous, and put like some defensive linemen
like
out
Miles
there
Garrett. Miles Garrett and Jordan Burroughs, like that would be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. Or some punk ass wide receiver or somebody who just scared of fucking shit.
By the way, are you a Raiders fan? Are you a Raiders fan then, since you are in Vegas? And I feel like that's the Ninth Island honorary team.
No, I mean, I guess I was kind of supportive because we're in town.
Do you even have a team?
But, yeah, I'm a Dallas fan.
That's fine. That's fine. No, he's a Philly kid. Don't listen to him. They suck.
And I'm a Dallas. Well, my dad. So I kind of it was kind of like pushed on me when we were young, and then I mean, obviously, like you kind of stick. I mean, there's some stuff that stick, and then even now, like I'm a big Dak and Zeke fan just because I was already a Dallas fan. So
it's easy to like Dak. It's easy to like Dak. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, I like Dak. I like Dak as a person, and then I mean Zeke was hot in college, and I watched him a lot because Marcus Mariota they played around the same time, so obviously watched Zeke. So I was real high on him, but he's not doing so hot.
No, no. They'll be fine.
Playoffs have been real for Zeke. Hopefully he picks it back up, but yeah, I think the NFC East is going to be really interesting this year between the Eagles and Cowboys. But
come on, Jalen Hurts isn't good.
Jalen Hurts is the guy. That's all I'm going to say.
No, he's not.
All right, so question number 4. If you could have gone pro in any sport other than like combat sports, MMA, wrestling, or football, which sport would you have gone with?
Any sport besides those 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Basketball players making a lot of money these days.
Yeah, they make a lot of money. I'll maybe golf. I don't even play golf, but I don't even play golf. But I mean, it's like non-contact, right? Or I mean, it's strenuous on the body, but as far as like beating up your body, that'll be one, and you can make some good money in that.
And hit the course, put down a few beers, have a good time.
Yeah, I mean that's like the new thing right nowadays. Everybody right after high school, or like that's like that young age, like that new thing.
It got hot during COVID. It got really hot during COVID. Like no one really golfed before. I feel like then once COVID hit, everyone golfed because that was like one of the few things you could do.
Every guy like that's like up like from like 18 to like maybe high 20s wants to where like wants to go out, wants to dress the part and do it all.
The polos, the khaki shorts.
Yeah.
I will say, being a professional golfer too, you get to travel the world. You get to see like the scenery. Like those golf courses are beautiful. So it's like you get to travel the world, play these beautiful courses, and you just play golf. Like
yeah,
not that bad.
True. I was telling my wife yesterday, like, so like obviously Hawaii, big surf community and surfers. I don't know how the money is. I mean, I know there's obviously some money because it's a pretty big sport. But I would like to be a pro surfer because you don't really hear about their losses. You only hear about their wins. So like these guys aren't getting hammered for their losses, like fighters or like any but like fighters. Fighters, we get hammered for our losses.
You get hammered for your wins. If you're boring, they'll just fucking destroy you.
Yeah. So, but losses in like something like surfing, you don't ever hear about them. Like they obviously make money enough to make a living. So it's like, man, that must be nice.
Yeah. They like mainly point out like the cool shit you did during your run, like apart from the wipeouts and that.
Yeah, or you hear like guys that win the contests, right? And then like some cool. I mean, now on social media you see big like the highlights of waves, but you don't ever hear about their losses.
No, you see the highlights, you don't even know who won.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that was cool. Like, and then you don't even know if they won. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, number 4,
5.
All right, last one.
Last one here. So, now that you've been living in Vegas for a while, what's the craziest thing you've seen just on the streets of Vegas that you've just brushed off because Vegas is a wild ass place?
I haven't seen much because I didn't go out. I mean, Vegas is crazy in general, so like things just go in the back of your mind. I mean, you just like kind of, God, it's crazy. It's Vegas. It's that, but yeah, I haven't really seen much because I mean, I don't go out. Boring. All I do is train, and yeah, all I do is train. So it's like once I'm not at the gym, I'm not watching fights. I'm just, I mean, I got a bunch of kids, so it's like I don't really see crazy stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
Because the gym isn't not close to the strip, isn't it? Like in Hendersonville or something?
No, it's kind of close to the strip. It's like I'd say like 5 minutes from the strip.
Oh, so okay, so it's a little bit closer than I thought, but it's like still too far away. It's still a little too far away though to really see Vegas. I feel like because I feel like
I mean, I would, but it's like training was always during the day, right? Like you train from anywhere from there, like the morning till pro practice at 3:30. So everything else is like you go to other gyms or, and it's a crazy thing to say. You have to ask that question for like some place that's not crazy. You know what I mean? Because then it's not happening.
Well, I feel like in the mornings though, sometimes you might be like driving on your way back and you see some people stumbling. Like I feel like that's the only time you'd really ever see it. It's just in the mornings.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't really go out, so
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll never forget. Like a few years ago, I was just chilling at my college apartment, and some dude wearing a toucan hat just walked up to a random car across the street and started pecking in the window. I was like, I'll never forget that. And so, just some shit. I would expect that shit to happen in Vegas, but not random Bloomington, Indiana.
Little 500?
No, it was during the summer.
Oh, That's even weirder. All right, let's let our friend.
Are you an indie fan?
Yeah, I am.
No, I became like a Jonathan Taylor fan just from watching the Hard Knocks. I just like him because he don't say much. He just does his job and nothing fancy. He just looks like a hard worker. And just does his job.
He's just the best back in the league. He just goes out there.
Friend of the show right there.
Yeah, he is a friend of the show. No, he's good. He's really good. I'm glad he's my running back because we've had some tough ones lately. That's like the first time we've been good in a while for that.
Yeah, I never did watch him until I watched never really. My friend Boston Salmon, he's a big Indianapolis fan, and I never did watch him until I watched the Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
and then I kind of started paying more attention because of Jonathan Taylor, just the type of person he is.
And Hard Knocks was entertaining this year too, not just because it was an indie. Like Hard Knocks was actually like pretty well done. I don't like the off season one, but the in season it was pretty interesting. Like watching the team that year.
Yeah, that's true. And then somebody like or the team like Indy because they weren't you didn't know if they were gonna make it, but they're like right there. Things had to happen, so you kind of watching to see how it was gonna play out. And then, but like they had some, and then Carson Wentz coming over. So or like towards the ending, that's what kept you in the later episodes, is like seeing if they were gonna actually make it.
Well, the best thing about it too is like they became like the hottest team in the league, like literally at the right time after the New England game. Yep. It's like everyone's like, oh, they're the dark horse to win the Super Bowl. Then Carson Wentz does Carson Wentz things, and they just completely fell apart. So
that's so irritating. I mean, I'm a Dallas fan, so that always happens to us, right? You think that things are going so well, it goes back down like how it was.
Oh, I know. You guys got the quarterback. That's the hardest thing to find in the NFL nowadays is getting like that quarterback. Dak's the guy. It's just Zeke has such a big contract, and he's just not been.
It's just hard because when Zeke was, you obviously seen the first year where, man, it just it looked like so promising, and then after I think it was the next year is when he had to sit out, Zeke.
Yeah, it was before year 3. He sat out, went to Cabo, and got just pretty thick.
No, but the next year was when he had to sit out. He got suspended.
Yeah. Because he had like that. Yeah.
Second year. Then the third year is when he sat out for the contract, and then the fourth year is when Dak ankle. So it's it was just things were never aligning, and they weren't able to pick up again and in Dallas fashion. Every year is supposed to be a big year, so it's but something wasn't always clicking. Then now, Amari Cooper is gone, so
did you guys re-sign Gallup, or did Gallup leave?
I thought Gallup left.
I thought he left too, but I wasn't sure.
I thought he left. I don't know. I haven't paid attention just because sometimes when you get when you're, I only experience this now because obviously,
oh no, Gallup sold the Cowboys.
But this past year, I haven't been paying attention to the Cowboys or just your sports team in general, because when you become a professional athlete, gratefully, your career starts to kind of take off. You start to even lose, even care about watching Sunday football.
Well, it's got to be hard too when you're in not Vegas, when you're in Hawaii, for instance. It's 6 hours. You're 6 hours behind. So I feel like right now with 3:03, it's 9. It's almost 9 a.m. So you guys have to wake up at 7. You have to wake up at 7 a.m. just to watch games.
As a kid, it's hard. As a kid, it's hard because you wake up and what the hell? These games are over already. And then now it's a lot easier because I think it starts at 8 o'clock and then 7 o'clock when daylight or something like that. It's 7 and 8 o'clock. So and then the second wave is at 11, and then the Monday night is at 1. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good how the time. There's some good to it where it's kind of all early when you're not waiting all day. But then guys drink all day on Sunday because freaking football starts early.
Well, at least the positive is you can stop drinking in the middle of the day, and then you're good to go. To go to sleep and wake up, you won't be too hungover the next day.
True, exactly. But then the guys in Hawaii, they'll just start drinking at 7. And they don't stop. They just go to Monday night football all the way through.
Oh
Oh,
no!
sweet.
Yeah. You just go it all night or go until
Yeah,
the next day.
yeah. Go call in sick.
Oh my
Can't
god.
be hungover if you're still drunk.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true. That's facts. Hair of the dog. All right, Kai. Appreciate you coming on, man. We've taken up an hour. Before we let you go, obviously, unfortunately, the fight's not happening. Will happen here soon. Have you back on for that. But before we let you go, if there's anything you want to promote, give a shout out to, go on ahead. This is your time.
I should do shout out all my sponsors. Ruka, um, Rain Body Fuel, and yeah, those are the sponsors that kind of keep us going like in down times like this. Through hemp, Whitetail Properties, they kind of they help me when fight gets postponed and things change. The sponsors is what's there because you don't get paid until you fight in this game. So thank you.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Honestly, this isn't coming out for another week, so I'm assuming by next Friday they're gonna actually announce it. So we're good on that front. Cause I was like looking at
Yeah,
the stuff; it's still up.
Bellator, like they like to keep stuff in the dark for a long time, like announcing fights. Because I knew about this fight since I knew about it like 8 weeks ago, and nobody even knew. And then I was like, yo, can I tell my sponsors? Can I tell this that? And they just like, oh, you gotta wait. And then I was like, bro, that thing hurts because I gotta promote my fight for myself, not for you guys, for myself. I gotta let these guys know so I can get paid. Like I can start getting paid, and then yeah, but they don't. No, can't. And then look, the fight's been canceled for almost 2 weeks. So
Wow.
yeah, and nobody know. You probably never know until they.
No, but you literally sent me that message like, "Oh wow, I have a scoop, but I'm not a scoop breaker, so I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
tell anyone." It's
yeah.
like,
No, but even like the local news guy, he's pretty good at like breaking news. Our news guy with MMA news too, like as far as in the MMA industry, the sportscaster, and he asked me, "Can I break this news?" I say, "I don't know if you can. I don't care." But these guys, they like to leave things in the dark for a while. I see, I'll just leave it, let it go safe. So I was like, I don't care, but because they're supposed to interview like meet up at the gym, and I was like, oh yeah, the fight's canceled. It just got pushed back. They're saying October 1st. So
well, gotta wait till then. I guess you won't be able to probably won't be able to announce it until like September 20th or some shit like that. I don't know.
no,
Thanks for coming on, Kai.
for
Appreciate you
real.
coming on. All right, that's our boy Kai. Don't want to say anything too revealing, but he did give. We had a lot of tea was spilt after the interview, but he's close. He's one of our
Yeah.
boys. That's kept in the safe. Lock the key. Throw it down the gullet. But before we move on to our winners and losers, quick fight of the night bonuses. Haven't done bonuses in a couple weeks. Let's get that going again. I'll just start with my fight of the night. Fight of the night was Yair Rodriguez versus having a normal fight. I don't know what it is about Yair, but he just can't seem to have any normal fights. The one with Max was kind of like a little blip of the radar. If you go back in time, you had the Korean Zombie fight, which he lost until he did it in the final second with the craziest elbow finish. Maybe the biggest fluke finish you'll ever see in the UFC. Yeah, the Jeremy Stevens thing in Mexico where they had the eye poke and Jeremy Stevens couldn't continue. And then you had Brian T-City Ortega having his shoulder dislocated from the submission attempt, which seems is kind of like a weird thing. But regardless, he just can't have a normal fight. It's kind of crazy. Now he's fighting for a title after like memeing his way up to the top. So shout out Yair. Shout out to him to the fact that he can't have a normal fight. Then going to performance of the night goes to Pina Haley Soriano from humping the cage, doing a monster shower with the Monster Energy drink, and then chugging a beer and completely fucking up, smashing it on his head. That was one of the best celebrations of a knockout I have seen in a long, long, long time. So shout out to our guys. Those are your bonuses. You get a nice standing ovation from our like 20 fans. Let's move on to our winners and losers. So Harrison, why don't you start us off with your first winner?
Yeah, let's just keep it real simple for the first winner. Today's first winner is Dingers, because I mean the home run derby is today, and we're going to see some absolute moonshots out of the stars that are going to be playing in it. And who doesn't love the home run derby? It's one of the most fun days in all of sports. Like I'm pretty sure I've always enjoyed it. I know my brother, who's not even into baseball, loves the home run derby. So like, it's just going to
You're
be a
not
fun
cheering
day.
for Albert Pujols. You're a terrible human being. It's his last year. He's retiring. Let's
I
let him go
know.
out on a high note. Even though Harrison, I know well, we all cheer for Schwarbo from the IU base.
Yeah,
But,
we all cheer for Schwarbo, but if Schwarbo can't win it, gotta go for Pujols.
Gotta go for Pujols. And so I'm gonna go on to my winner. My winner. He's one of the favorites of the show. He's a personal favorite of mine. Haven't heard from him in a while though. It goes to LeVar Ball. This past weekend in the Drew League, LeBron James played. LeVar Ball was there. And know what LeBron James' first move was in the Drew League? Was to dap up LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball's back. So
let's go.
I love having LeVar back. Need him on the media, on the mic. But I don't think any network is allowed to have him on the mic anymore, which is unfortunate. LeVar, if you ever want to talk about basketball and talk about how you beat LeBron one-on-one, we'll be your place. I will happily be your propaganda machine. I've already tried once. I'll try again. LeVar Ball, open invitation. So shout out you for getting dapped up by LeBron. Can't wait till you guys play one-on-one.
The world needs more LeVar Balls.
You need more LeVars.
Or just the one, and we need him more out more often.
Stop the shadow ban. Free LeVar Ball. Free LeVar.
Free LeVar Ball.
Free LeVar. Harrison, your first loser.
My first loser is Tyler Hero, and all I gotta say on that is no work, no check. The worst tattoo I think I've seen in my life.
Go check it out. It's disgusting. It's not even like a tattoo where we're at the part of the Tyler Hero triangle where he plays a good season and he starts doing dumb shit in the off season. So next year he's gonna fucking suck. And then he'll repeat the cycle.
Trend downward again.
Yes, unless they make this trade for Durant and Kyrie, but they won't. But yeah, we're in this part of the triangle where Tyler Hero tries to do things he's not supposed to do, like that chest piece. Terrible. I know Tyler Hero has a little bit of black culture in him. That tattoo wouldn't look good on anybody. But
no, he tried to get a tattoo that says "I got that dog in me," but instead, what it says is "I paid I don't know how much money for the stupid goddamn tattoo."
I will say, you know how like there's tiger tattoos where like they rip it out and looks like the tiger's like trying to claw their way out of their chest. If you did that with the dog, actually, I would have given him kudos, and I said that would be like the best tattoo I've ever seen.
Like just like a little terrier or something.
A little chihuahua trying to claw its way out. Dude, that would be so fucking funny. Go into the memes. It would go pretty hard. And no one would ever see it because he always wears that. But the problem is this is not the last of Tyler Hero. He will do some more dumb shit this summer. Living it up as a sixth man of the year just to play like dog shit next year. So let's move on to my loser. 9/11. So if you weren't on social media or you weren't listening, or if you weren't on social media because you probably weren't watching Red Sox Mets or Red Sox Yankees, there's this graphic that I don't know how the uppers approved this one. They definitely just let an intern do this. Like this went through an intern to the manager, and they all said, "Oh, that's cool." And it was a nice little pretty shot of the city, and then it turns over, and the Yankees and Red Sox logos are where the Twin Towers were. On the memorial. That's so insensitive. Like that's just how does that get passed? That's just so insensitive.
That intern was sitting there. He was just sitting there like there's no shot this goes through, but I might as well submit it because it'd be funny as all hell if it does.
No, I just can't believe that there was probably at least 2 or 3 different groups of people who are like, yeah, that's fine.
They apparently overlooked it.
Apparently, before they had something similar with like a contract thing, where like some guy's contract was the equivalent of the entire Rays contract, and it was on the Yankees, and they had a graphic of Devil Rays like going into those towers, like the Twin Towers getting rammed into. So someone needs to have a discussion about not trying to replicate 9/11 in graphic form. ESPN's already weird as it is, but I will give credit to ESPN. They've never tried to use 9/11. So should just give a shout out to ESPN for not being the ones to use 9/11 for graphics. But Fox, figure your shit out, man. Figure your shit out. Harrison, you're next. You're winner, the last winner.
Yeah, my last winner is actually my little brother. Because he had himself an interesting little weekend. Dude was just chilling up in Oregon with a few of his buddies when they see a bunch of Escalades driving around. So. Of course, they do the only thing they should be doing in that situation is start screaming at the Escalades, acting like a bunch of stupid college students. When all of a sudden, fucking Travis Scott rolls the window down and starts screaming with them. He got this video of the two of them just like running around and screaming their heads off. It's the funniest thing I've seen in the last few days. And then he talked with Travis Scott, and Travis Scott talked with my brother and his friends for a few minutes and turns out he's a dope ass guy. So I never would have thought I'd be talking about my brother just meeting Travis Scott on the street. So that was an interesting little talk I had with him.
That is fun. That is fun. Sometimes celebrities can be cool. I'm gonna go on to my winner. It's a complete 180. I'm getting real offensive here now. Incest. So if you were listening last week, incest was I gave him a gold medal because of what's his face? Because of Kevin Gates fucking his first cousin.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, most notably known for being Elon's dad, is welcoming a second child with a stepdaughter who he has raised since she was 4 years old. So technically, I don't think they're blood. I don't think that counts.
No.
But you raised her since she was 4, and they're having a second child. That's like the closest thing you can get to incest. I don't understand how incest is so accepted right now. Like, that's just disgusting. Your babies have issues. Like, this is like the third thing I've seen in the past week where incest is like cool. Let's chill with incest and like not like make it be cool anymore. Let's not go back 300 years like we're already trying to as a country. Let's kind of go forward. That's the kind of shit from like 300 years ago that wasn't cool. Incest was never cool, and it shouldn't be cool. Stop. Stop fucking your kids.
Like, let's just all agree. Family members are not for fucking. That shouldn't be that hard of a, or that controversial of a statement.
Like cousins, I mean, I guess cousins. I cousins a little bit. You know what? If you're horny, you're horny. I've never, but like I'm just saying, like I kind of could see it. But someone you raised since she was 4 years old.
No, that is your daughter at that point.
No,
like
that's no good.
Don't do a Woody Allen. Like
this ain't the last of my dong talk, Harrison. Let's go on to your loser before I go on to my dong talk.
Yeah. So my loser, Brian Kelly. SEC conferences are coming up this week, and he's gonna have to talk to the media in his god awful Southern accent again, unless he decided to dump that. So LSU.
Well, he's had a lot of time to work on it. I'll give him this. So he has had a lot of time to work on his accent. So maybe when he gets there, he'll be sounding like Coach O, like reincorporated. Or what if they like pre-recorded stuff and it's just Coach O talking, and Brian Kelly just
he's just flapping his lips, like yeah. That would be interesting. Like just
hire me as a
out of nowhere, go Tigers. Like,
hire me as a PR guy at LSU, and I'll make Brian Kelly look like Coach O, but actually like a really good coach, and not just kind of taking Les Miles' guys.
And not carried by Joe Burrow.
Yeah, not being carried by Joe Burrow. So let's move on to my loser. More dong talk. So for those on the unaware, when they read Chili Peppers were young. I forget the song what they do it to, but they did a whole concert with only a sock covering their dick. Like literally, you can see bush, you can see it all. They had a sock covering their dick, so it's just like socks dangling around. Let's not try to figure out the specifics. Let's move on to why this is important right now. Bert Kreischer, how the fuck you say his last name? Comedian.
Kreischer.
He replicated this performance by singing it himself, and they recreated this as of this past weekend. So I didn't think I ever needed to see that, and that's a video I happily have only looked at like 20 or 30 times, but it was definitely shout out for Bush appreciation. I don't know. Maybe they saw the 9/11 thing, like, no, let's just show our support for Bush. So they really let their Bushes out to play. So shout out to Bert and shout out to everyone else. So yeah, let's stop talking about dongs. So
I think I'm good with dong.
I think we're good with the dong talk. Good with the dong talk. Yeah, good with the dong talk. All right. I mean, do you have any shout outs before we wrap this thing up?
No. But shout out dongs because
shout out dongs. Or condoms, by the way. I have one shout out. Friend of the program curse has been lifted. Shout out Ricky Simone getting the fat dub. I'm sorry, Jack. Your fans, Loki, kind of they were. This is just an observation. I post some really nice videos with Jack Shore as a guest. I love Jack. He's a great guy. He came on, great. We only had like 2 comments of like, let's go Tank, let's go Jack. And then I post this video of Ricky, and they're at my fucking throat. Like, what the fuck? Ricky's overlooking him. He's such easy. Jack's gonna walk through him. This guy has no chance against Jack Shore. His name's Tank, dude. He doesn't stand a fucking chance. And so there was, I'm sorry, but as someone who said I wanted it to be a draw, there was a part of me was like, I kind of want Ricky to win, man. These fans are a little annoying, little psycho. They're all about negativity, not about the positivity. I just observations from my two friends
the
in the
negative
program.
vibes.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though, seeing all the Ricky fans coming after and just comment at him like, no, he didn't. He didn't win. He got submitted, just shit like that. Anyway, shout out Ricky. Jack will bounce back. He's still a very, very good prospect. He'll bounce back. But that's what we got for the show. We will see you guys on Friday. So without further ado, talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.fit today.